This offseason and preseason for San Francisco has been one of the most competitive in recent history, in large part due to the addition of Robert Saleh, with him saying this offseason there could be up to 8 new starters on the defensive side of the ball. And so far, after 2 preseason games, the one player that seems determined to make a push for one of those starting roles is Chase Lucas, the 4th-year cornerback out of Arizona State that has been overlooked early in his NFL career. In this most recent Raiders game, for instance, once again he was used like a defensive chess piece in Robert Saleh's defense, being sent on blitzes. He had a late sack in the game with 30 seconds left, and even had an interception, most importantly, really showing off his development as a coverage player. So given how dominant Chase Lucas has been this preseason, in this video I wanted to go over his most recent film as well as his career up to this point so we can fully understand the player San Francisco is getting headed into his 4th year. Initially, to start out, probably where the former running back has impressed me the most is his development as a true coverage player. Here lined up in the nickel cornerback position once again, for instance, he does a nice job of trailing this wide receiver, and he said in his post-game interview if they came out in this formation, he knew most likely they were going to run it out and he was going to jump it. And here, I love despite this wide receiver being draped all over him, he still is able to snag this. In a similar way on this play, manned up against 11, he does a nice job of initially disrupting him with a double-handed press technique. He does get maybe one step on him, but because of his athleticism, Chase Lucas is able to respond. He's able to track down the ball, and ultimately breaks up this pass on this play. And I really love on this play, after he goes up and high points it, he tries to go ahead and snag the interception as well. He's a true ball hawk. In a similar way on this play, playing the no contact press technique this time, so he's not putting any hands on this wide receiver, he does a nice job of trailing him, and once he comes out of this break, he's turning his head back to the quarterback like he's the wide receiver to make a play on it. Lucas has also done a pretty nice job in zone coverage. Here, for instance, San Francisco is running cover 3 with Lucas responsible for the flat. Meanwhile, the Broncos are trying to fool Lucas into thinking that this wide receiver is going to get the screen, with the quarterback even pump faking here. But Lucas doesn't take the bait, disrupts this wide receiver going on a wheel route, so it takes away the quarterback's deep throw, and then recognizing this, Lucas breaks off of his man and comes up, making it so the wide receiver gets no gain on this play. In a similar way on this play, Lucas once again shows off the aggression Saleh loves out of a player, coming up hard in his own coverage to make sure this back can't pick up the first down. But where Lucas probably has made the most impact in the passing game is as a blitzing nickelback. Here in this most recent Raiders game, for instance, with only 30 seconds left in the game, I love how Robert Saleh is faking the blitz hard on the right side of this offensive line, which really gets the quarterback to key in there. And then Chase Lucas waits until the last second to show that he is coming on the blitz, and like we've seen this entire preseason, if you're not going to account for him, he will make a massive play on your quarterback like he does here, and I absolutely love this clutch nature about him. Lucas has also done a phenomenal job balancing his aggression and staying under control. Here, for instance, a less controlled player would have shot by Bo Nix. Bo Nix could have rolled outside of the pocket and potentially have ran for a first down or gotten a completion on this play, but rather it's a safety. In a similar way here, rather than just trying to get the sack on this quarterback, potentially drawing a PI, he puts his hands up and helps force the incompletion. Outside of Lucas's coverage ability, equally as important for San Francisco's nickel cornerback role is his ability as a run defender, and here against the Raiders, you can see his ability to play like another linebacker despite being kinda undersized for a corner. And like his coverage game, I was really impressed with his ability to quickly identify the Raiders' play and then play without hesitation. Here, for instance, as soon as he sees this lane forming in the offensive line, he shoots it without hesitation and is a big reason why this back doesn't pick up a first down on this play. Lucas also does a really nice job of shedding wide receivers' blocks in the running game. Specifically, he does a nice job with his hand usage. Here, for instance, once again, he's able to quickly identify this toss play, uses a swim move to get in the backfield, and while I would like to see him get this tackle in the future, I do like that he's right there in on the play. In a similar way on this play, Lucas does a nice job of fighting through this wide receiver's block, reading this running play, and then shooting through the backside to get the tackle on this back. I love this aggression by Lucas. With all these positives being mentioned about Lucas though, there are some areas of concern for his game, with probably the biggest being his aggression, both in his coverage and run stuffing abilities. Sometimes his aggression will leave him susceptible to double moves in his coverage, and against the run, maybe he misreads the lane, and then the back can bounce outside on him. Even with these concerns though, when you turn on Lucas's film, you see a player that steadily improved over the course of his 4-year NFL career. He's added the size, and now during San Francisco's preseason games, he's been able to make plays consistently in Robert Saleh's defense. But to truly understand the player Chase Lucas is and what he'll offer to San Francisco's defense heading into this year, I didn't want to break down his career up to this point because it is pretty unique for a cornerback. When we were first introduced to Chase Lucas, for instance, he was playing his ball at Chandler High School in Chandler, Arizona, but he wasn't playing the cornerback position. He was actually a running back, and he was dominant. He was a 4-star recruit according to 24/7 Sports, and he had numerous offers. With Lucas ultimately deciding to stay close to home and decided to commit at Arizona State, and as a true freshman, they decided he wasn't going to be a running back, but rather moved him over to the cornerback position. And that year, he redshirted, but it proved to be the right move because he broke out in a major way during his freshman season. He earned second-team All-Pac-12 conference honors after recording 59 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 8 pass breakups that year. Meanwhile, the following year during his sophomore season, he was able to register 62 tackles, 6 for loss, 2 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 5 pass breakups. Then as a redshirt junior, he registered 50 tackles, 4 for loss, 1 interception, and 4 pass breakups. In 2020 though, he didn't play in as many games due to COVID. He still was pretty solid though, registering 15 tackles, 5 pass breakups, and just 4 starts. And with 1 more year of eligibility remaining due to this COVID season, he re-entered the 2021 season and registered 34 tackles, 6 pass breakups, and just 10 starts. And that year, he decided to enter the 2022 NFL Draft. And at the Combine, he came in at 5'11", weighing 180 pounds, and he ran his 40-yard dash in 4.48 seconds, and I loved his 10-yard split of 1.52 seconds, really showing off his acceleration. Still though, because Lucas wasn't the most refined corner, and he didn't have a set position at the NFL level, he went to the Lions in the 7th round, and for the first 2 years of his NFL career, he was primarily used on the special team side of the ball. And last year, he signed with San Francisco, and headed into his 2nd year, he looks vastly improved. And based on what I've seen so far during his preseason performances, I do expect him to push for a 53-man roster spot, and once Upton Stout is healthy, I really don't know how you don't allow both of these players to compete. Upton Stout has had a great offseason, but he has been injured recently. Meanwhile, all Lucas has done so far this preseason is make plays, especially in big-time moments. And even if he does lose out to Upton Stout, I still think he makes San Francisco's 53-man roster because he does offer versatility on the special team side of the ball, and I think he can be San Francisco's dime defensive back that comes in. But ultimately, these are just some of my thoughts on Chase Lucas being one of San Francisco's probably biggest surprises this preseason, and I'd like to hear your thoughts down below about his performances so far, and it would also mean a ton to me if you did enjoy this video to go ahead and like and subscribe. It truly helps out the channel a ton, and as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.